let's talk about one of the key components, the key tools that you use probably a lot in Microsoft, and that is the PowerPoint. PowerPoint slides are probably something you use a ton of. So I'm going to open up a PowerPoint for you, and we're going to talk about, I like to always use this Think with Ink because it kind of shows you what all you can do with your PowerPoint because it has annotation features to it. So I have my app here. I have my slides here, and let's talk a little bit about what I see on my screen. You're really not going to pay any attention to these up here because you're not designing. You're probably going to design on your computer, but for your delivery, you're not going to pay attention to those. The only thing that I need you to do, a little homework, a little pre-homework for you, a little preparation for you, is the first time you do this, I need you to go into Files, and you need to turn off AutoSave. Here's the reason. Because it's defaulted to AutoSave, every time you make an annotation, every time you make a mark, it's going to log it and save it as the same PowerPoint, but it's not going to be your original. Okay, so you, especially if you teach 4 or 5 classes a day, you want a clean copy. You want your original to stay as it is. So when you're teaching that, it's best to do that auto save, turn that off so that you can go back in when you're finished with the class and hit save as. Save as will allow you to specify what hour, and then that way you can put it in their notebook or your LMS, your learning management system. So that's the one thing I think you need to do a little prep work before you begin this. A lot of what you're going to use is over here on the right hand side. This is your start your slides, that little, looks like a little film strip kind of thing. So we're going to go up, we're in our slides now, and it's full screen. And in order to move through our slides, I'm either going to swipe left or I'm going to swipe right. So I'm going to swipe left, and here is a lesson with Phantom of the Toll Booth, Chapter 7. We're going to look for idioms. I can annotate right onto this. I don't necessarily need the annotation tool in the unified menu because PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Notebook, they all have the annotation feature built in. So I'm going to use the annotation tools from that. So I'm going to click on at the top, and a menu is going to pop down for me. I have these ink tools here. I have the very simple, very simplistic, much like the annotation tool on the unified menu. We have your highlighter, your pen, your erase, and your erase all. That's really all we need when we're delivering content. So when I'm ready to work with my students and I want to do some highlighting with them, I can pick up my pen, use my finger, and I can go in and highlight. And we're looking for idioms. So here's the first one, a square meal. It is. So we can highlight all of these as we're supposed to in the lesson. I know my inking is active because it's highlighted in orange up here at the top. Now I can go back if I needed to take notes with my students. I can go back up to the top here, inking tools. I'm going to choose that orange, and then I can write with my students. If we're talking about idioms, I can write on this PowerPoint, I can write what an idiom is, remind them of the definition. We can probably list a couple of examples, cats and dogs, those kinds. So I can put all of this on that PowerPoint slide, and when I go to save as, my students have this to refer back to with all the notes on it. Let me swipe And let's go to a math example. So this is maybe something I would have used with my students, kind of a worksheet, a review worksheet, bell ringer, something like that. So now I can come in here with those ink tools and we can fill in the answers. Now, if I needed to do any work with my students, I go, okay, what does it mean to be half of something? What number do we use? And then I can write that out on the side here and really point out and take some notes with them of what we're doing, showing my work, because we always ask our students to show our work. So here we can do that and then write in the answer. So they can write as I write, and I don't need to scan it, put it underneath additional external hardware like a dot camera. I don't have to do any of that. I can add that to that PowerPoint and I can write on top of it. When I'm finished with my class for the day, if I click there back at the top, I have it in Slideshow, and that's going to bring me back to the app itself. And remember, I am going to save this for my students. So a file, save as, and right here it's got the original Think with Ink, but this one I'm going to share with first hour. So I'll put in first hour, and then this is what my students are going to get for first hour. This is their slideshow. So I keep it separate from them, and when I click Office, I can drill down into where I want to put it for my students. So if I want to just put it in their class notebook, I can certainly do that.